The scrapping of NHS England by the government, as Keir Starmer has just announced, and Wes Streeting is now going into the details. This is a really positive demonstration of his commitment to cut 7,000 bureaucrats in NHS England. Of course, if they're simply moved to government roles, it's no cutting at all. It's simply a sleight of hand, a form of bureaucratic magic trick. And you've got to remember the word wizard is a prejudicial word. It's a word of abuse. A whiz is somebody who's peddling wisdom, wiseness, and a wizard, like a drunkard, is negative. But whether or not this is going to be enough, as I say, if those bureaucrats simply move to another employer, the government, it doesn't mean anything. The Prime Minister has said, I can't in all honesty explain to the British people why they should spend their money on 2 layers of bureaucracy. That money could and should be spent on nurses, doctors, operations, GP appointments. Absolutely. So today I can announce we're going to cut bureaucracy across the state, focus government on the priorities of working people, shift money to the front line. So I'm bringing management of the NHS back into democratic control by abolishing the arm's length body, NHS England. Now, there's 13,000 people in NHS England, and it was created in 2012, and if the truth and the honesty of what Keir Starmer is suggesting is that they should now all be effectively without a job, that would be, I suppose, a positive. I suppose it would be worrying for their families and for their future to suddenly find on the click of a button, rather like Trump, they lose their position. But on the other hand, somehow I don't believe that this is going to be the case. I have been talking for a good 2 years about the problems with NHS England as a concept. In fact, I've just literally done a video which will be up on Sunday morning with Political X, the Sunday brunch, in which I'm discussing precisely the abolition of NHS England and the problems of NHS England. So that rather anticipates the story which has been developing in the last hour or so. And I couldn't celebrate enough, but I'm not completely convinced that what is being said is what is being intended. And it worries me a little. Wes Streeting has talked about the final nail in the coffin of the disastrous 2012 reorganisation, which led to the longest waiting times, lowest patient satisfaction and most expensive NHS in history. When money is so tight, we can't justify such a complex bureaucracy with 2 organisations doing the same job. What we need, and I hope Wes Streeting's plans, if it's honest, are going to continue, because he needs also to abolish the CEOs in trusts, and to ensure that no bureaucrat is paid more than a top surgeon or a top doctor. That doctors, nurses, and the people who maintain hospital machinery are paid significantly more than pen pushers, and that hasn't been the case for the last 12 years, and it's been utterly wrong and absurd. And we need to change that. We also need to make sure that we have that more effort is put in retaining the doctors and nurses who are trained in our universities and colleges, because at the moment we're training them in greater numbers than we have ever trained them before, and then they are going abroad or they're going into private healthcare, because the NHS is a lumbering machine which does not think about the people who are working for it. I had a conversation earlier today which ended up with the discussion of the language that someone was using. and whether it was intentional that they were abusive in using the word obviously to me. The word obviously is not a word anybody should ever use, but that's neither here nor there. What that word betrays is a desire to control me, a desire to ensure that the customer is less important than the business. And when the business has failed, when the business has done wrong, that relationship should clearly not be exploited. The business is not there to belittle the customer, particularly when the business has erred. The NHS has erred beyond belief, and the NHS should be reformed. And we shouldn't be talking about the language we use. We should be talking about the money we're spending and the money we've been wasting.